peacefully, and Uddhava is also peaceful. Uddhava is concerned that Krishna is going to wind up his pastimes. I think in last chapter you would have read how Uddhava is overwhelmed with grief that all his family members will die now because of the curse of the Brahmana, and Krishna is going to wind up his pastimes in this material world. And being overwhelmed with this grief, lamentation, Uddhava is approaching Krishna and telling Krishna, I think you will now wind up your pastimes. Please tell me what I have to do. And in this verse, Krishna is certifying, yes, Uddhava, what you are thinking is correct. I'm going to wind up. And as soon as I wind up, Kalika is going to come. So today we will be seeing how the Supreme Lord is a wonderful teacher. Gita Jayanti is coming. Mokshada Ekadasi is coming. Now we are also starting Uddhava Gita. How Supreme Lord's teaching is not just about giving knowledge, but how the Supreme Lord is so much concerned for his students. How Supreme Lord is having so much of love for his students. Being a teacher, it sometimes becomes very easy if the student is a good follower. Yes. The student is sitting in the class and sleeping in the class. In IIT, our devotees used to snore in the class. And the professor would be undeterred. He would just come with his full determination, giving the class. And our devotees, someone will be snoring, someone will be writing Mahamantras in the back. Because they were late. They have to submit. And some devotees will write backup mantras so that and I remember myself and Iman and Prabhu would remember Vaishnav songs. And there was one professor who would see us open and we would sit in the first bench. And he would teach something and we would be opening the Vaishnav song book and we will be remembering in front of him. But I was to wonder, this person is completely detached. He's just coming to do his duty. And he would teach and go. And we'll remember, someone will be doing the assignment, someone will write mantras, and all different people will be doing different things. But on specific case, it is very difficult to teach a person or to be concerned about someone when someone is not following you. When someone is completely indifferent to your teachings. When someone is really not interested. And we see the Supreme Lord is so loving, so concerned about his students. We will see different students today of Supreme Lord. All of us are also students. So, though all of us in our experience is when our students don't follow us, it becomes difficult. And also, we need something from our students. The teacher is taking some remuneration, or even if the teacher is not taking some remuneration, at least the teacher has a feeling of happiness that my student will follow it, and by following it, he will excel in his life, and I will see how he excels in life, and I will feel proud in my heart because of my teaching, this student excelled. So even if the most selfless teacher in this world has some selfish desire to gain something. Now Krishna as a teacher, he is Atmaram. He does not need anything from us. Forget about his students, he doesn't need anything from anyone. But how concerned as a teacher Krishna is. And we will see that today. So we will begin with the conditioned souls. all the conditioned souls. We will see how Lord is concerned about teaching the conditioned souls. So in Brihad Bhagavatamrita, Sanatan Goswami explains that when Gopakumar reaches, he goes to first Swargaloka, and from Swargaloka to Brahmaloka, Satyaloka, and from then Brahmajyoti. From Brahmajyoti, finally by the mercy of Lord Shiva, Gopakumar reaches Narayan, Vaikuntha Loka. And when Gopakumar reaches Vaikuntha, and he is like a cowherd boy, and for the first time Gopakumar is seeing Narayan. And when Gopakumar sees Narayan sitting along with all his associates, Gopakumar says, Gopal, mine, because he's a devotee of Gopal. My Gopal, like that. He started running to embrace Narayan. And for Vaikuntha Vasis, it is like a culture shock. Someone coming in great speed to embrace him. My Gopal, right? So immediately the attendants who were standing near Narayan, they were very big, and Gopal, this Gopakumar was very small. They picked him up like this. And then Gopal was hanging on there. And then they made him, they didn't allow the Gopakumar to embrace Supreme Lord Narayan. And Gopakumar fell down unconscious. And Lord Narayan started calling, get up, get up, get up. But Gopakumar was so overwhelmed with ecstasy of seeing his Gopal in the form of Narayan that he was not getting up. And Lord was telling, get up, get up, get up. And finally the Supreme Lord, this is Supreme Lord telling to a conditioned soul who is finally reaching to his abode after traveling so many, just like all of us. So we will read what Sanatan Goswami writes. The Supreme Lord said, welcome, welcome, just imagine. Welcome, welcome, my dear boy. Swagatam, swagatam, vatsa. Dhishtya, dhishtya, bhavan maya. I am fortunate, most fortunate to meet you here. Hare Krishna. Just imagine. Its teacher is telling to the student, I am fortunate to teach you. And who is the student? He has failed 6 times in the 10th class. And he has somehow struggled to come to the 11th class. He has come to the coaching institute and welcome. Thank you for sleeping in my class. My other students were snoring and at least you were sleeping. You're not disturbing my class. So welcome, welcome my dear boy. I am fortunate, most fortunate to meet you here. For so long, I have been eager to see you. I was so eager to see you. Bahuni gamitani anga, janmani bhavate sakha. Oh sakha, oh my dear friend, you have passed many lifetimes without paying any attention to me at all. Just imagine any student, classes after classes. Like when I was young, I was in class 6. There was a boy in our class. When I was in 6, he was in 6. When I was in 7, he was in 6. When I went to 8, he was in 6. When I was in 9, he was in 6. When I was in 10, he was in 6. When I passed, I went to college, I used to inquire what happened. Now he went to 7th class. But the teachers were so desperate to teach him. Right? Because he was paying money to the school. But imagine, the Lord is telling to Gopakumar, I have been telling you, teaching you so many things as Paramatma, but you had not paid any attention to me. And then the Lord is telling, Asmin Yehiva. And I used to think, Asmin, at least this lifetime, this Gopakumar, you will turn towards me. For so long, hope had been dancing me like a fool, thinking, perhaps in this lifetime, or this, Asmin, Sayad, abhi dekh lega mere ko, Sayad, you're understanding? So the Lord is telling, again and again, I would think again and again, that if I think in this life, you will turn your face towards me. So in this way, the Lord is so concerned for the conditioned soul, though the Lord is not going to gain anything. Prahlad Maharaj says in his prayers to Nrsimhadev, oh Lord, Nija Labha Purna. Oh Lord, you are Nija Labha Purna. You do not require any labha from anyone. If you play the role of a teacher, you don't require anything from your student. If you play the role of a husband, you don't require anything from your wives. If you play the role of a father, you don't require anything from your son. But your causeless, compassionate love for the souls. And then the Lord is telling, but I could find no pretext on which to bring you to my abode, dear brother, and still follow the timeless laws that I myself have created. So the Supreme Lord creates these laws of karmas and He doesn't want to interfere with the laws of karma. And Sanatana Goswami writes that the Supreme Lord doesn't want to interfere with the independence of the conditioned souls. And then the Supreme Lord is telling, you showed me no mercy. And as I considered this, I grew impatient. Tatte mai akripam viksha. Can you imagine? Someone, you are trying your best, I have seen husband and wife. Sometimes husband try their best and try their best and try their wits, and the wives really deny. Aisa hi hoga. And finally the husband said, get out, get lost, I'm just divorced and just let lost. And just imagine, not just one life like this, not just one life. Shri Shri Nitai Gauranga ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lifetimes after lifetimes after lifetimes, the conditioned soul Lord is telling Himself to Gopkumar, for lifetimes you had shown no mercy to me. And you have really remained indifferent to me. And I grew impatient. I was feeling impatient. Isko to udhar karna hi hai, right? Like Bhakti Vinod Thakur says that Jivero karane asiya prapanche lila koilo subistar. That the Lord has nothing to give or take with the material world and nothing to give or take with the conditioned souls, because they have become indifferent, but the Lord becomes impatient, full of anxiety. Why? The Lord is telling, I became impatient to receive your favor. Can you imagine? When the conditioned soul is doing all sense gratification, the Paramatma is thinking in the heart that when he will turn towards me and when I will get his favor. वो अभी मांस खा रहा है. He is breaking all four regulative principles. He is doing all nonsense. But just see the consciousness of the Lord. Sometimes we say that International Society for Krishna Consciousness, first we need to know what is consciousness of Krishna. And then when we try to practice in that mood, then we'll become Krishna conscious. Krishna consciousness begins by understanding the consciousness of Krishna. What is the consciousness of the Lord? Consciousness of the Lord is not because of the envy in our heart. We think, oh, बड़ा अच्छा काम है, सब लोग आके दंडवत मारते हैं, पूजा करते हैं, वाह वाह वाह, खड़ा है, खाली खाना मिल रहा है और फेस्टिवल के ऊपर फेस्टिवल हो रहा है, 108-56 भोग लगा रहा है, खा रहा है, गजब खड़ा है, कब मैं खड़ा रहूंगा. But just imagine, he is not just standing in outside as Archa Vigraha, he is standing inside in your heart also. And the Lord himself is telling that for lifetimes together, O Gopkumar, I was standing in your heart. And I was thinking you are involved in so much of sense gratification, so much of horrible, sinful activities. And I was thinking, when I will get your favor. As devotees, after being devotees, we don't see conditioning outside people like that. You know, we don't see the people who come from Sapurji. When I will get their favor. We think when we will give them our favor to them, correct? But understand, this mood of Krishna consciousness is very important. Because to become devotees means to become sajatiya with the Lord. See, Lord will only interact with you when you become sajatiya. ऐसा नहीं कि कौवा और बिल्ली एक साथ नहीं रहेंगे. बिल्ली बिल्ली रहते हैं, कौवा कौवा रहते हैं, हंस हंस, swans and swans flock together. So if you want to flock around Krishna, become Krishna's associate, first we need to understand consciousness of Krishna and then practice Krishna consciousness in our life. And the consciousness of Krishna is when Krishna is teaching also, Krishna is not thinking I will deliver my student. Krishna is thinking I am getting favor of my student. I will get some favor of this person. And I was growing impatient, Krishna is telling. I was growing impatient, full of anxiety to receive your favor. So I transgressed my eternal code of conduct and arranged for you to take your current birth. Krishna said, because of that, I broke all the laws because I was getting impatient. When I will get this person? When I will get this person? And then, dear boy, in that divine district of Govardhan, my most beloved abode, I myself became your guru, known by the name Jayanta. And the Lord, Sanatana Goswami writes very amazing thing. The Lord does not interfere with the independence of the rebellious jivas. He mostly leaves the responsibility for reforming them to Vedas and the Vaishnavas. So, and finally the Lord is telling, today you have at last fulfilled the desire I have harbored for so long. Please nourish your happiness and mine by staying here forever. The Lord is not telling, Samajh kya, you have understood now. Stay here. Material world is horrible. Don't go there. Now pitai pada na. You got beating na. So the Lord in the heart is not happy seeing us beaten up by the material energy. The Lord is not thinking sense gratification. Useless. Useless. He's eating stool and what not he's eating. Lord is not thinking like that. Just like as Srila Prabhupada gives example, just like a small boy, when he passes sometimes stool and he starts, what is this slimy substance? And he starts applying it on the body and applying it, you may be tasting it and doing all those things. And the mother saying, wow. And then mother picks up, right? I remember one time one person, boy, Mataji and Prabhuji, they had come. They were a small boy, born. And Prabhuji, aapke saath photo uthana. I was a little skeptical. And then I took that boy and photo to uthana hai. And the boy, I think when that flash came, the boy got some problem. Something happened. He got afraid or something. And it was like my Uttari. And this mother was feeling, oh, Prabhu. And then mother picked up. And when the jet begins, it doesn't stay, it continues. It is involuntary action. So the boy was still urinating and the urine was lying on the mother's blouse and sari and everything, and the mother was okay. I was not at all okay, right? But mother was so okay and all. Then I immediately went to bath and everything changed into, and I found the husband and wife, the mother is still holding and is still wet with the urine. It's normal. Mamta. So in this way, the Lord's mamata for the conditioned soul is so much that He doesn't see conditioned soul sense gratification as grina. He sees that when this soul will come, when I will get His association, when I will get His favor. So we must understand that this is the consciousness of the Lord. And finally the Lord sends the spiritual master. So in this context of this verse, coming to this point, that one may ask, why would Lord send Uddhava to Badrika Ashram? And not just Badrikashram, the end of this entire section in the 29th chapter, the last instruction Krishna is giving to Uddhava after telling Uddhava Gita, this is the verse, this is 11:29, 41 to 44. Okay, so we will read the translation. 11, Canto 29, chapter 41 to 44. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, after speaking all entire Uddhava Gita, "My dear Uddhava, take my order and go to my ashrama called Badrika. Purify yourself by both touching and also bathing in the holy waters there, which have emanated from my lotus feet. Rid yourself of all the sinful reactions with the sight of sacred Alaknanda river. Dress yourself in a bark and eat whatever is naturally available in the forest. Thus you should remain content, free from desire, tolerant of all dualities, good nature, self-controlled, peaceful, endowed with transcendental knowledge and realization. With fixed attention, meditate constantly upon these instructions I have imparted to you and assimilate their essence. Fix your words and thoughts upon me and always endeavor to increase your realization of my transcendental qualities. In this way, you will cross beyond the destination of the three modes of nature and finally come back to me." Uddhava is a pure devotee. Does he require wearing bark? Does he require going to Badrikashram? Does he require purifying himself in the of all sinful reactions with the sight of the Alaknanda river? We must understand the Lord sends his pure devotee and makes him act like a not pure devotee, so that seeing his example, the impure devotees follow his example and become pure devotees. So in this way, the Uttamadhikari, by the instruction of the Lord, sometimes behaves like a Kanistha Adhikari, sometimes behaves like a Madhyama Adhikari, just to teach and favor or give mercy of the Supreme Lord to the living entity. So where Uddhava is being sent to Badrikashram, all are sages wearing bark, and if Uddhava has to speak something and they have to hear something, Uddhava also has to follow their technique. Just like I remember when I first time got the book Discover Yourself by Radhe Shyam Das, and then on the bracket it was written MTech IIT Mumbai. I said, yes, IIT, we must read it, right? What he has written about God, right? So we must understand that the Lord sends his devotees, just like the Lord in the, I think the first canto, third chapter, somewhere Srila Prabhupada writes, Avatarena Asakhyena, in that verse where all the incarnations are mentioned. The Lord takes varieties of incarnations in varieties of species to enchant and attract the minds of those species. Srila Prabhupada writes, the Lord becomes a pig, just so that all the pig family can feel proud. And they can get attracted. And Lord sometimes take birth as kachua, kurma, so that the kachuas, all the kachuas, when they see, kachuas are attracted to kachuas. Humans are attracted. Imagine when kurma was flying and other kurmas, such a hero kurma. And just by appreciating the hero kurma, the other kurmas, now they're in animal body. But immediately, because of appreciating the Lord, now they're not appreciating the Lord as the Lord. They are seeing a turtle. Now it's a big turtle. All the lady turtles of Milk Ocean would be thinking, wow, it's a Mr. Universe aa gaya, right? And then they appreciate. And then they get rid of their kurma body and they get some human body or some maybe demigod body, or they may go to Vaikuntha based on their. So similarly, the Lord comes as a king, as a warrior. And it is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam by Sukadeva Goswami, all those warriors who saw the Lord at the time of death, they immediately got delivered. Because they say, kya raja hai, kya. So they appreciate. And Prabhupada writes, the Lord also comes as mosquitoes. I don't know about so many species. The Lord comes to attract different species. And just like the Lord comes as different avatars to attract the minds of the people in that body, the Lord comes as the spiritual master to enlighten the intelligence of the living entity in different ways. And the spiritual master sometimes behaves like a conditioned soul. Like Uddhava is being sent by the Lord, and stay there, Uddhava, and you should look like a sage, like one of them. But you are not a sage. You are my pure devotee. And then, because they will be attracted to you, he is a master yogi. And then the yogis, because you need to be master in their field for that intelligence to go down, to put down. I remember our His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, some senior disciples had come, one couple, Mataji, had come here just, I think, 10-15 days before. So I was talking with them about how Maharaj started preaching in China. And I was asking them, and they started telling all the strategies of Maharaj, and how Maharaj saw that the Hong Kong was part of China, not a part of China. From 1987, there are some leases and everything. Maharaj went to Hong Kong, and practically Maharaj became one of them first. And then everyone started thinking they are like us, coming to do business. And Chinese need a lot of money. And then Maharaj would get all money from different countries and print books in Chinese and distribute freely. The Chinese would come from China, mainland China, to Hong Kong, and then they would go back to China in the evening. And in the evening, Maharaj would dress themselves with pants, shirt, and can you imagine, sannyasi? And everything, suit and everything, and freely distribute. The Chinese are going, and Maharaj is also going like a Chinese in the bus, and freely distribute Chinese Bhagavad Gita to everyone. And then they would get, and like that, China preaching started. So Krishna is starting Badrika Ashram, pure devotional service preaching. Because the sages in the Badrika Ashram are too attached to austerities. And devotional service, the austerities of devotional service are very simple. Just Sthane sthita shrutigatam tanubhag manovi. The austerity is to hear the holy name of the Lord. If you have marked in the previous chapter, Uddhava, I don't know whether you have read it, Uddhava is appreciating the Lord and telling that there are so many naked sages. I don't know how many of you. There are so many naked sages. They do lot of austerities, but finally they get Brahma Jyoti. But oh my Lord, for all of us, your pure devotees, we don't do such austerities. We just rely on hearing your pastimes, hearing your Krishna Katha. And by just hearing your pastimes and hearing Krishna Katha, we get delivered. So this is the conviction of Uddhava, that the holy name of the Lord, the Hari Katha of the Lord is sufficient, no austerity is required. But for Uddhava to transmit this conviction into the heart of all the sages who are doing all austerities in Badrika Ashram, he has to first behave like one of them. And in this way, the Lord is so concerned about the conditioned souls. Similarly, just imagine how the Lord himself is concerned, and he arranges his pure devotees to become spiritual masters in different capacities to help the conditioned souls to come back to me. The second principle is the Lord is also concerned for those who are newly perfected. This is also from Sanatana Goswami in Brihad Bhagavatamrita. When finally Gopkumar reaches Golok Vrindavan, and he has attained his spiritual form now, right? And even in spiritual world, the Lord goes to Mathura, and so that the Lord can give the experience of separation, love and separation for all the Golok Basis. It's not that only in Gokul, in Bhauma Vrindavan, the Lord goes from Vrindavan to Mathura. There also Lord performs pastimes of going from Golok to Mathura Lok, the spiritual Mathura. And then there also there is so much of love in separation, and gopis are crying, Yasoda is crying. And Gopkumar, he has reached now Golok Vrindavan, and he is seeing how everyone is crying. The Lord is going from Golok to Mathura. Yasoda is crying, the gopis are crying. And then the Brahmana who is asking Gopkumar the question, the Brahmana is asking, why didn't you go? Why did you stay back in Golok? You could have also gone to Mathura. And then this Gopkumar is telling, by the order of the Lord, I and all devotees like me, who have just reached Golok Vrindavan, continued to live in Braj in the company of Nanda and others whose moods resemble ours. And Sanatana Goswami writes a very special thing. Sanatana Goswami writes in the commentary, when Krishna left Vrindavan, he gave special instructions to the new devotees, just like we are new devotees, who had come to his abode on the strength of his mercy. He told them to remain in Braj and continue to associate with the great devotees like Nanda, whose ways of devotion were similar to their own. Otherwise, if the new devotees were to go to Mathura, the incompatible local mood would disturb them and their spiritual development would be choked. With such consideration in mind, the Lord ordered Gopkumar like this. So just imagine how concerned is the Lord when the living entity reaches also. It's not that after the living entity reaches Golok Vrindavan, the Lord, oh, ho gaya, abhi kaam khatam, pahunch gaya idhar. The Lord is so concerned with the living entity when he also reaches newly. He's a new bhakta in Golok. Just like we have new devotee program in ISKCON. So there is also new devotee program in Golok Vrindavan. So the only difference is the atmosphere may be a little bit different. Here Sapurji is there and there maybe not be Sapurji is not there. But there also you'll find new devotees and there will be problems of there also. Only mixing link will be the Sapurji. So the Lord is concerned with the newly devotees. The Lord is concerned with the conditioned souls. The Lord is so concerned with the newly devotees that they get the right instructions and the right guidance. And the Lord is so concerned for the already perfected devotees. When Jagadananda Pandit, now Jagadananda Pandit is not an ordinary soul. He is incarnation of Satyabhama. He is a perfected soul. He had such attachment to Gauranga. He was having so much of attachment to Gauranga that wherever he would go, he would just think about Gauranga. He had no iota of any material desire other than worshipping, loving and serving Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Everywhere, wherever he would go, his only concern was how I can serve Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But when Jagadananda Pandit said, oh Lord, you went to Vrindavan, you didn't took me, because Rup Sanatan said to you, go alone. You went, I want to go. And the Lord is saying, no, Jagadananda, you stay here with me. No, I want to go. Sanatan has gone. I want to go. I know how the kids make. And Jagadananda was very jiddi. Very, very jiddi. He was very angry and very adamant. So, and finally the Lord says, okay, Jagadananda, I would really miss your association in Puri, but if you really want to go, you go, I give you permission. But then the Lord says to Jagadananda, Mathura gele sanatana sange rahiva. This is, those who want to open the verses, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Ante Leela 1336. Ante Leela 1336. Mathura gele sanatana sange rahiva. Mathura ra Swami savera charana bandiva. So if you want to go to Vrindavan, Mathura gele, Sanatana sange rahibo. You should always stay with Sanatan. Don't roam around Vrindavan alone. Just like we tell to our devotees, akele mat jana Vrindavan. And sometimes we may think, because now I am a conditioned soul, that's why my guru is telling don't go alone. But when I'll get a perfected soul, then I can roam around in Vrindavan alone. Lord Chaitanya is telling to Jagadananda Pandit, don't roam around alone. Always remain with the association of Sanatan. And Mathurara Swami Savera Charana Vandivan, you must worship the lotus feet of all the Brajavasis there. Dure rahi bhakti kariha sange na rahiva. Tasavar achara chesta loite nariva. You remain in distance from the Brajavasis because you will never understand the mood of the Brajavasis and you will simply commit offenses. Because they are in a different platform, you are in a different platform, you are perfect, they are also perfect, but then perfect may also commit aparadh and then you will become imperfect. So the Lord, in the beginning, for a conditioned soul, the Lord is concerned that the conditioned soul should not commit sinful activities. But when the conditioned soul becomes a devotee, the Lord is concerned now the devotee should not commit aparadh. Because aparadh is more dangerous than sinful activities. And how the Lord is concerned that Jagadananda Pandit doesn't commit aparadh. Because even in the platform of perfected soul, if aparadh is committed, those aparadhs are counted. Perfected souls can digest the karmic reactions, can digest the sinful activities, but aparadh is extremely dangerous. And how Lord is concerned with Jagadananda, don't adopt their behavior and practice, remain at distance. Sanatana sange kariha vanadarashan. Lord is telling, Sanatana sange karo. You don't go roam around Vrindavan alone. You do all the parikrama with Sanatan. Sanatanera sangena chadiva ekakshan. Even one moment you should not leave Sanatan in Vrindavan. Can you imagine? So that's what we should feel for the association of devotees. Because as soon as one moment we leave association of devotees, either we'll commit sinful activities or we will commit aparadh. And the Lord is so concerned to Jagadananda, stay with Sanatana always. Sigra asiha tahana rahiha chirakal. Govardhane na chadiha dekhite gopal. And you should immediately come back. You should not stay there because your mood is different. You will be, you are becoming angry on me. I am Supreme Lord. These Brajavasis are nothing. You will just make them like this and throw them in Radha Kund or in the Kundas. So, you should come back immediately. You don't stay there because you have a different mood than the Brajavasis. Govardhane na chadiya. And I'm telling the Brajavasis will climb the Govardhan. And I know you will also climb the Govardhan seeing the Brajavasis. But you should not climb Govardhan. This is my instruction. Can you imagine? The Lord is giving instruction even to Jagadananda Pandit, who is Satyabhama himself or herself, whatever you want. This gender of material world doesn't apply. Also, do not climb Govardhan hill to see Gopal deity. Amiha asitechi kahiha sanatane. Amar tare kasthana jena kare Vrindavane. Inform Sanatan Goswami that I am coming to Vrindavan for a second time and that he should arrange a place for me to stay. And that's how Sanatan Goswami left Govardhan or Pavan Sarovar came to Dwadasa Aditya Tila. You see the Madan Mohan temple and all, because he wanted to arrange in Vrindavan, because Lord had to come to Imlital every time during his last visit to chant. So Lord, Sanatan thought that if I arrange a kutir for the Lord here in the bank of Yamuna near Imlital, the Lord doesn't have to go and come back, and he can stay peacefully here in the Dwadasa Aditya Tila. And when the Lord didn't come for the second time, again Sanatan Goswami went back to Govardhan area, Chakleshwar and all, where and we were hearing the pastime this time by Radhanath Maharaj. Etavali Jagadanande Kailalinga Jagadananda Chalila Prabhura Bandiyachara. So in this way the Lord bade farewell to Jagadananda, but we can see how the Lord is concerned that Jagadananda does not commit aparadh in Vrindavan. In this way, we can see that the Lord is concerned for the conditioned souls who are indifferent to Him. The Lord is concerned for the new, the practicing devotees like the sages of Badrika Ashram. He's sending Uddhava and making them convert to devotional service. The Lord is concerned for the newly devotees, newly perfected devotees who just reached Vrindavan, Vaikuntha. And the Lord is also concerned and wants to instruct for those who are already perfected souls. And the Lord's love is supreme. And that's how there is a beautiful verse which all of you should remember. Our Acharyas have quoted this verse again and again, which comes in this Uddhava Gita section, in the last section, last chapter. This is Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 29th chapter, text number 6. This is Uddhava's prayers after hearing Uddhava Gita from Krishna. This is a very beautiful verse. So all of you, if you open, we will recite it and we'll end. Srimad Bhagavatam 11:29-6. Naivo payantya pachitim kavaya tavesa. Brahma yushapi krita vruddhamuda smarantaha. Yontarvahi stanubhritam asubham vidhunva. Acharya chaitya vapusa swagatim vyanakti. Uddhava is praying, "O my Lord, transcendental poets and experts in spiritual science could not fully express their gratitude or indebtedness to you, even if they were endowed with prolonged lifetime of Brahma." So even if we get a lifetime of Brahma and try repaying the debt that we incur to Krishna for helping us, we will not be able to. For you appear in two features, externally as the Acharya and internally as the Super Soul, to deliver the embodied living being by directing him how to come to you. Purport. According to Srila Jiva Goswami, Lord Krishna is 10 million times more dear to a devotee than life itself. And according to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, even by rendering devotional service for the total duration of 1000 universal creation, a devotee cannot repay the debt he feels to the Lord for having awarded him loving service to the Lord's lotus feet. The Lord appears within the heart of Super Soul and externally both as spiritual master and his literary incarnation, the supreme Vedic knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. So in this way, we must understand that this is the consciousness of the Lord. And if we want to become Krishna conscious, first we need to understand what is consciousness of Krishna. The consciousness of the Krishna is that no living entity can do any amount of sinful activity that the Lord will feel grana, feel bad, think that, oh, I think gone case, I just have to leave him. The Lord cannot leave the living entity. Even the living entity who is performing all nonsense, the Lord feels that when this living entity come to me, not that I will favor him, but that he can favor me with his wonderful association. This is the consciousness of the Lord. And when we really understand this consciousness of Krishna, then we can lovingly practice Krishna consciousness, because we know, my goodness, my Lord is like this. Because of the envy in our heart, we think the Lord is like just standing on and getting all worship, all this. But just imagine, this is the consciousness of Krishna, as explained by our Acharyas. Srila Prabhupada ki, Srimad Bhagavatam Purana ki, Uddhava Krishna Sambad ke, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki, Jai Krishna. Yeah.